Welcome to LaunchRevs, where we cover new car launches and review the latest cars. My name is Eddie X, and today we have the Volvo EX30. The EX30 was met with quite a bit of excitement when it was first announced because it promised an affordable price point, a nice compact size, and that signature Volvo Scandinavian charm. But they've had some challenges bringing this to market, especially at that original affordable price point because of the global tariff situation. The EX30 was originally planned to be assembled in China, but because of the tariffs, it essentially made it economically impossible to hit that original price point of starting around $35,000. They've had to pivot and try a couple other things, building in Europe and just dealing with that situation. So it's been a bit of a delay. And when the EX30 finally became available, they had to start off with the top of the line, more expensive powertrain combination like this. This is a twin motor performance Ultra, which is optioned to nearly $50,000, quite a bit more than that original around $35,000 starting point. Now, that original entry base price was always going to be the more affordable single motor version, which is now available, not at that $35,000 starting point, but quite a bit cheaper than this twin motor one at around $40,000. But what is the EX30 like? Well, we're going to talk about that today. We're going to get up close, show you some details on the exterior, the interior, take it for a drive, and talk about how it compares to some other affordable, smaller electric vehicles. This twin motor performance Ultra version makes 422 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. The 64 kilowatt-hour battery pack is rated at 253 miles of all-electric range. DC fast charging is claimed at 153 kilowatts, which can do 10 to 80% in under 30 minutes. Also, 0 to 60 will happen in 3.4 seconds. Let's check out some exterior design details on the EX30, starting with the size. It's a smaller crossover, but they tried to stretch the wheelbase, pushing the wheels to the front and the back and giving it shorter front and rear overhangs to have a nice compact size. We have 19-inch wheels, very aerodynamic design, and then the paint. This color is called moss yellow, which was apparently inspired by lichen they would find on rocks in Sweden. But when I'm driving it, I feel like I'm driving a tennis ball. Like you could see it from outer space. It is very bright and vibrant, pretty much the exact opposite of the new EX30 Black Edition they just announced, which is fully blacked out and looks much more sinister compared to the vibrant and happy bright yellow one. The headlights on the EX90 are also really cool. They wake up when you approach with the key, and it's a digitized modern version of the Thor's hammer, the signature Volvo look, composed of all these little rectangular blocks of light, really modern and sleek looking, and unmistakably a Volvo. Up front, we don't have a grille because it does not require airflow like a gas-powered vehicle would, but you do have a front trunk. It's rather small. You could probably fit the charging cable in there, but not much else. We also have frameless side view mirrors, which are a really cool, sleek, and modern touch. Around back, we have these split taillights with a design that really matches the modern look up front. And then you have a power opening tailgate, which you can open by pressing a button right there. And there's a good amount of storage in the back too. This is also a cool, fun detail on the trunk where they have a diagram with various measurements for length, width, and height. And then will it fit a stroller, a suitcase, a plant, another suitcase, a scuba diving tank, a backpack, a lamp, and golf clubs. And now for access. So we don't have a conventional key fob. Instead, you can either use the key card, which is this thing, like a credit card. You can tap it right here to lock and unlock the vehicle. It only works here on the driver's side pillar. Or you have this little block, this little fob here, which recognizes you when you approach or when you leave, and it will lock and unlock. Or if you own this, you could probably use the phone app, which would probably be even more convenient. Gotta unlock it. See, it's a little bit finicky. So Volvo is really proud of how much recycled materials they use on the inside, like recycled wool on the seats, a nice cloth feel. And then we have the full glass roof up there, which does not have a shade, but gives the cabin a bit more of an open, airy feel for a smaller vehicle. You see the little Swedish flags here. Fun little details. More recycled materials on the door panels, and minimalism is the theme here. The texture itself is cool. It's like almost like a woven pattern. I believe it's recycled plastic, but you see no window controls, no buttons of any sort on this door panel. There's a little bit of ambient lighting at night, but more recycled texture plastic here. So super minimal. You just have a metal door handle there, little EX30 badge. Let's hop in. They also apparently use like recycled fishing nets for various pieces on the inside too, but minimalism, right? They definitely look like they benchmarked Tesla and just went with that. You don't have a display here, just a little sensor that watches you. Instead, everything is through this vertically oriented tablet in the middle, no buttons for anything. The only button controls are right here, unlock, lock, and then you see that says rear because you only have 2 window switches. It's either for your front windows or if you press that, it's for your rear windows. Imagine going through a drive-through thinking you're opening your front window, but you're opening your back window. So that's a little bit finicky. And then you might be looking around and be like, oh my gosh, where are the cup holders? There's no cup holders. Don't worry. They're right here. They're hidden. So they pop out. You have double cup holders. Let's say you only want to use one. You can close it a little way and you have 1 cup holder. That's pretty nifty. Down here, way more storage. We've got USB-C charging ports, wireless phone charger, but also that's a sensor for the key card if you're using that right there. If you want to open your glove box, got to go through the screen. Glove box release right there. So everything is like through the infotainment screen. Here we go. Exterior lights. If I wanted to do off, I then had to use the steering wheel to hit confirm, and now they're off. So some of this stuff is, I think, a little bit too minimal. The screen does work pretty well, responds quickly, and at least we still have CarPlay. Some EVs, you do not get Apple CarPlay. Let's go ahead and hop in the back. So I have the front seats where I am comfortable at 6'3". Oh, it is a compact little crossover. I don't really have leg room back here. I have tons of headroom actually, but not too comfortable. We do have window switches here, USB-C ports, and this is fun. A little removable storage bin in the middle. It's got a little moose, some trees, a fun little touch. Same nice materials in the back. All right, let's go for a drive. All right, let's do a bit of driving and talk about the EX30. One of the first things that really surprised me is how quick this thing is. It's genuinely, startlingly fast. Now, this is the quickest Volvo they have ever made. And for an EV, it's actually reasonable curb weight, around 4,000, just under 4,200 pounds for this dual motor version. The single motor is gonna be a bit lighter, about 250 pounds lighter, but around 4,000 pounds. Yeah, it's a smaller EV, but battery packs are heavy. I mean, it's barely half the weight of a Hummer EV, but with that 422 horsepower, 400 pound-feet of torque, it's quick. When you're in performance all-wheel drive with the dual motor going, like, it'll do 0 to 60 in the low 3-second range. I believe it's been tested in like the 3.2, 3.3 range, and it's actually usable too. Let's just say you're trying to merge into traffic, a smaller gap all of a sudden becomes a larger gap because you can very quickly get up to the speed of traffic, but it's quick. It is very zippy. It gives kind of hot hatch feels. The rest of the dynamics are definitely less sporty. It's just really quick accelerating because of the power to weight, but the body has a bit more of motion there. You can change your steering feel. If I go here to settings, driving, I can change my steering feel from soft, medium, firm. Firm feels kind of artificially too high. Soft was so light, I was like, this is like a video game, so that was weird. I didn't like that. Medium is the happy medium. You can turn your performance all-wheel drive on. You've got ESC off, hill descent, one pedal drive, all these different controls here. I believe they're also, speaking of hill descent control, they're supposed to be doing a cross-country version of this with slightly more aggressive tires, right, to kind of lean into that Volvo all-terrain, go anywhere, exploring kind of feel. But living with this, I've actually really liked it. It's a nice compact size, and it definitely feels the appropriate size, like a city car or just using it around town. But the packaging is really nice where it's still practical. I have tons of space up here. I'm very comfortable. Second row, less so if you're over 6 feet tall, but I did fold down the seats and I was transporting a decent sized piece of furniture, like this big like side table thing, and it fit in the EX30. So tiny car, but plenty practical. Went to Costco, all sorts of different things. Now as an Ultra, we have a couple more added tech creature comfort features. You have a 360 camera, which is definitely really handy for parking and things like that. You also have a parking assist if you're not as comfortable parallel parking or pulling into parking spaces. It can do that for you. Although it's such a compact small car, it is rather easy to maneuver in my opinion. Whee! Like, that's quick. That's properly quick. That is plenty quick enough for anything you would want to do. But yeah, it's very small and maneuverable, pretty comfortable. Wind noise is actually very well contained too. Sometimes with EVs, it becomes a little bit more apparent road noise, wind noise, but this is very livable and definitely just a nice little EV. It's like a Tesla with Volvo feel on it. I don't love the ultra minimalism. I wish it still had a little bit of a screen like the EX90 has right here. Instead, you have to look over here for your speedometer, your range situation. All of the information is in this 12.3-inch screen. There's no heads-up display. Instead, you have the big Harman Kardon soundbar over there. But I do wish there was at least something. And then the sensor is, it's really finicky. It's complaining a lot. If you look away like at all for a second to look at your screen, because everything is in the screen, it's beeping away at you, complaining. So, and every single time you get in the car, you have to turn off lane keeping and driver alert. Otherwise, it's a nanny. It's going to be yelling at you the whole time. And the lane keeping, obviously, that's a good feature to have, right? But it's almost overly sensitive. Like when you're on 2-lane roads, and let's just say you wanted to move over slightly to avoid a semi-truck coming towards you or avoid an object, it's like fighting you. So I don't love that. And every single time you turn the car on and off, you gotta cycle that again. But to some other pros, it's very, very easy to drive. The range has been okay. This week, we're down to 52%, 123 miles, which is fine. It's rated at 253. I saw some tests where people weren't quite getting that in the real world. It really depends on your driving. I've been doing mostly city driving, not a ton of highway driving, so it's going to be a little bit more efficient. And it's only decent for charging speeds, about 150-ish kilowatt if I recall correctly. So it's okay. But the price point was the initial big draw. Now, this one here, option to $48,000, almost $50,000, is not the super affordable version because it has the more bells and whistles, right? If you're looking for that, the rear-wheel drive single motor version would be the one you want to go for, around $40,000. Still a good amount of money, but you have a more premium feeling vehicle. You have the Volvo brand, the name, the legacy, the history, their focus on safety and all those things, right? Those will be applied to this vehicle, and it still gives me some of that Volvo touch. I know it's super minimalist, and it's not like an XC90 where you have the nice wood trim and the little crystal shifter thing. Like, it doesn't have that. It doesn't have the Bowers & Wilkins little speaker up there that I love in the XC90. But the XC90 is also going to be nearly double the price of one of these things. I had one that was, I think, 90 grand. It was a plug-in hybrid. But you still have some of that Volvo look and feel. And I would take it over Tesla. The build quality feels very nice. They may have taken Tesla inspiration for some of the layout and minimalism, but definitely not build quality. So they stuck to that. The materials are on the less premium soft touch feeling side, but I still find it interesting. There's a lot of different themes too. I do, again, feel like I'm driving in a tennis ball. Like, I'm pretty sure you could see me on the other side of the country because it's so bright. But then it's very easy to find in the parking lot, right? You're never going to lose track of your little EX30 when it's this brightly colored. Now, compared to what are some other options, I would consider a Hyundai Ioniq 5. Those are really, really good to cross shop. I would consider a Kia EV6. Those are kind of platform siblings. The Tesla Model Y would kind of be this size. What else is out there? The Chevy Bolt should be coming soon, and then Nissan Leaf. Nissan really is pushing the super affordable price point. I actually kind of like the Leaf too. It was nice to drive. But this thing is quick, properly quick. For some reason in my mind, I keep thinking the R2 from Rivian is going to be an interesting thing to cross-shop this against. I'm glad we finally got the EX30. It's a little bit of a shame it didn't come at the original price point kind of appeal that they were really, really pushing for. I think the styling is really cool. I grew to like the interior minus the extreme minimalism. I admit, it did take me a second to find the cup holders. Angel was like, where are the cup holders? I was like, that's a good point. Because I was just putting my water bottle in this little side pocket right here. And I was like, oh, they're right here. Surprise cup holders, right? But there it is, the Volvo EX30. It's a fun little car to drive and spend a week with. And if you're looking for an affordable EV, you love the Volvo brand, and you don't want something as big as the EX90, you could take a look at one of these. I'm really interested to see what the single motor one feels like, because then we're in like a top tier loaded up model here with the extra bells and whistles and things like that. The ambient lighting, midsummer, forest bath, all these different settings here. We've got, how do I pull up camera? If I go here, nope, I don't go there. pull up the cameras right here. You have the front view and then the overhead view here. It's scanning for slot. Don't try to park car. I'm stuck in traffic right now. Relax. But it has some cool features and I've enjoyed spending some time with the EX30 this week. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Comment below, what would you go for? EX30, Tesla Model Y, maybe the Kia or Hyundai platform EVs, or are you waiting for a Rivian R2? Comment below. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. Thanks for watching.